What is going on, Amazon sellers, and welcome back to the weekly Sunday edition of the Amazon Q&A show, where we share some e-commerce news, some stats, the occasional business maxim, and of course, we are here to answer your questions about selling on Amazon in Q4. Now, for those of you who may be new here, my name is Chris Grant, and to my right is my eudaimonic co-host, Chris Rasick. Chris, how is Sunday treating you, man?
Sunday is all right. No complaints so far. You know what? It's. I woke up this morning and I had a whole lot of leads. More leads than I usually have. Heading into a Sunday morning to get to my lead list, and just it's so odd how it worked out. Like I ended up finishing quicker, needing more leads today than when I'm in a really good spot. So I think it's Parkinson's law, just kind of expanding to the time allowed. Furthermore, more proof. But hey, funny story. I had a buddy in the group chat, and we're still friends from. I ran a fantasy sports group years ago before I started Amazon, and a whole bunch of us we got close. We talked every single day, and we talk sports, and right. So we still talk, and it's a guy's it's a big guy chat now, and so the one guy, he donated before the Wednesday show, and he's not real cocky, but he kind of made this comment. Like he said, hey, I donated and I got you up to a nice even. At the time it was $300. And and I said, hey, thank you very much. I appreciate it, man. And the guys they donate every year. And so he sent me a message this morning, and he tagged me in it. So my phone went off, and he goes, holy shit, Rasick. Like, I think we're up to, after the Wednesday show, we're up to like over $5,200 or something like that. And he was blown away. And he's like, oh, so then he's like, what'd you raise last year and stuff? And, but anyway, so it was just funny, like, and it just, number one, it reminds me, again, that I can't say it enough. Thank you to everyone that showed up Wednesday. And thank you to everyone that donated. Thank you for the generosity that you guys outpoured. It means the world to me. And the one thing I didn't do is, Chris, I need to thank you. I didn't do that. The 4.5 hours, I never got around to thanking you for letting us do the show on a Q&A Wednesday. That's you made it all possible. You set the framework for all of that support and that good work that we put in on Wednesday. So not only thank you for your donation, but thank you for setting aside a giant block apart from your family and a massive chunk above and beyond what we normally do on Wednesdays to make what we did possible.
Of course, I'm happy to do it. I'll tell you what. So I'm going to say this now, and I'm going to say it again here shortly. But I was thinking about this a little bit earlier today, and it was fun. We did a bang up job. The community did a bang up job donating for Movember, but we have not met your goal. And so I was thinking a little bit earlier today, how can we get there? Well, I came up with what I hope is a way that we can get a little bit closer. And I didn't talk to Chris about this before the show, so he has no idea this is coming. But here's what I'm thinking. All right. And I'm going to offer this now, and I'm going to offer it near the end of the show today. But anybody who either hasn't donated or wants to donate, if you're willing to give $100 to Movember, and we can talk, if you don't know what it is, we can talk about what it is for a moment before we answer your questions and before we jump into some of the news today. And of course, we do want to answer your questions. If you have them, drop them. But here's what I'm going to do. You donate $100 and you send me the receipt to chris@cleartheshelf.com. I'm going to do 3 things for you. Number 1, I'm going to create a lead list with a minimum of $1,000 in potential profit on it for you. Now, maybe that's 10 leads, maybe it's 20 leads, whatever. But I'm going to create it myself. It's going to be something that I source. It will not be from my VA team. There will not be recycled leads. They will be brand new, fresh, $1,000 minimum profit. Now, that could be $5 profit on one particular item, could be an item with $25 profit, whatever it is. But that will come to you by the end of the week, and it'll be nice and fresh. Number 2, I will give you access to something I created for OAC Plus called the Brute Force Ungating Guide. This year in 2025, I have been ungated in over 4,000 brands. Now, there are some people out there who are like, "Oh, well, we'll give you a list of 500 brands that we know can get auto ungated." I was like, "Pish posh, that is not enough. Let's do 4,000 brands." Now, I went through and I got auto ungated in all these brands myself. I'll give you the list of the brands, and then I'm going to give you a video that will also show you what I did. Now, it comes dressed in overalls. It was a lot of work. I literally, for like 2 months, went to bed every night with my laptop on my lap and just powered through brands getting auto ungated. This still works today. Number 3, I'm going to do a third thing for you. Tomorrow, OAC Plus has we're going to do 5-hour live sourcing show. For anybody who's just like, I can't find anything, 5 hours of sourcing. I'm going to handle the first 4 hours from 5 o'clock to 9 o'clock. Chris comes in at 9 o'clock, and his live sourcing sessions on Monday, they're scheduled to go for an hour. They typically go like an hour and a half, 2 hours. It's going to be between 5 and 6 hours of live sourcing between the two of us. So you get those 3 things. You get a lead list that'll have $1,000 of profit on it. That'll be sourced by me by Friday. Okay. You get my brute force ungating guide with 4,000 brands, and you get access to tomorrow's live stream. Now, to make this any good, it also needs to be limited. So I'm only going to do it for 10 people. Okay. I don't want to, I don't want to give 100 people a lead list, and I can't make 5 of them. I just don't have the time. So 10 people. All right. We're trying to raise $1,000, trying to get Chris much closer to his goal of fundraising. And all you got to do, donate $100, shoot me the receipt to chris@cleartheshelf.com. chris@cleartheshelf.com. And donate $100. There's depending on where you are, and I know if you're on YouTube, I'm testing something. I'm testing vertical video. If you're on mobile, that's why you're seeing us in vertical. If you're on a computer, you see us regular. If you're on Instagram, we're vertical. If you're on Twitter, if you're on Facebook, we're regular horizontal video. But there is a link. It's movember.com/m/Chris Rasick. If you're on a place where there is regular horizontal video, there's a QR code up in the top left-hand corner that'll take you directly there. All right. YouTube is vertical. I'm testing it just to see how it works, whether or not it gets us a few more. And so I don't know. We'll see. We may not do this ever again. We'll see what goes there. So, but one last time, okay. Donate $100 to my member. So none of this money goes in my pocket. All right. Goes directly to a good cause to raise funds for men's mental health and men's health. Shoot me a receipt to chris@cleartheshelf.com, and you get a lead list that'll have $1,000 minimum of profit on it. You get my brute force ungating guide with 4,000 brands plus a video on how to do this for yourself. And you get access to tomorrow's live stream. Okay. 5+ hours of live sourcing. You can come and go as you please. All right. Okay. So yeah, that's what we're going to do.
That's awesome. Thank you so much. I did not know that was coming. Yeah, there's an echo. I'm rolling without my earbuds. So I've got computer audio coming in, and my mic's probably picking up a little bit. So I do apologize about that. Between the vertical and the echo, we're throwing you guys for a loop today.
Right.
Sorry about that. Christy, the goal is this year. The goal is 7,500. And I think it's last I checked, I think I was sitting at 5275, something like that. Did we get were there more questions? Shannon, he covered.
What's the benefit of auto ungating? Can't you just ungate when you find a lead? So sure, you can. Okay. But see, here's the thing. There are two kinds of gates on Amazon. One, there are the brands that will allow you to auto ungate. That means get ungated without having to send in a receipt or an invoice or anything like that. And what's great about those is it doesn't cost you any money. It just costs you some time. With other things, you might need to send in an invoice with 10 units on it, or 50 units, or 300 units. I think the most that I've seen is 400. I've heard other people say more. Most I've ever seen is 400. Well, those are going to cost you money. And in today's ungating landscape, they can take 20, 30, 45 submissions before you get ungated. So the ones with auto ungate capability are just easier because they take time. And the good news is auto ungating seems to be happening a little bit more and more. So one, I'll show you 4,000 brands that hopefully you can get auto ungated for. And then I will show you several methods to find other brands that you can go out and find that may be able to be auto ungated for as well. It's not hard. It's not. It's simple. It's not easy. But I just lay the whole thing out for you. All right. Okay. See if there's any other questions here.
Yeah, like Lounge Zinger took us up.
Yeah. Thanks so much, Lounge Zinger. Appreciate you. What's the point of? Yeah, appreciate you, Lounge Zinger. Truth right. What's the point of ungating the auto ungate brands ahead of time instead of just auto ungating them when you find a lead? The reason I like it is a lot of people, one, you may have more time than money. Okay. Not everybody, but some people may have more time than money. And so go in and get auto ungated on these can be helpful. Plus, you never know when it might change. And if you're ungated, hopefully it stays that way. Not a guarantee. It's Amazon. Nothing is guaranteed and everything's made up. But hopefully it would stay that way. Number two, it can also open your eyes to some brands that maybe you want to go and actually spend your time sourcing. You know, a lot of people will be sourcing, and because they're trying to go quickly and be thorough, they don't necessarily take the time to request ungating every time they see that they're gated. The reason I know this is because I have told multiple people, like, hey, did you request to get ungated on that one? That no, I totally forgot about it. You know, it's not necessarily something that's in our mental checklist to go in and request ungating every single time. I'm guilty of it. You know, I look at several hundred. That's not true. I look at around 100 leads every single day, 5 to 6 days a week. And I forget to request ungating on every single thing that I look at. So that's what it is. All right. Shannon, thank you.
Plus, you
Good change.
can. There's such thing as destination sourcing too. You can search if there's a site-wide sale or something like that, and you recently got ungated. You can go onto the site having a sale and search that brand specifically. And know
Mhm.
if you know something like a Vitacost or something like that throws 20% across the board. You can isolate any brands that you just got ungated, and it could cut your sourcing time by a significant margin.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, we're gonna get to one piece of news, and then we're gonna answer your guys' questions. Lounge guy, I see your question there. You'll be first up. Um, this first piece of news, I bring this up because one, it's a little bit of a slow news week, and I didn't go looking very hard. But two, I think that it's important for us to understand trends. And so right now, toy makers are rushing into this blind box trend for the holidays, of course, because of the Labubu craze. I thought that maybe the Labubu craze was over. It is, at least in my house. Everyone was like, "Oh, I want a Labubu." Everyone except me, and
Sure.
everyone got a Labubu, and then everyone was kind of like, "Oh, okay, that itch is scratched. Let's move on." However, I went to the Florida Mall recently, and they opened up a Pop Mart, and the line to get in was 45 minutes. And I said, "No, thank you." We passed right on that store and went to the other stores. But there are others. There are stores like Miniso, which basically seems to be all blind boxes. Um, and now, because U.S. consumers keep searching for these things, rivals are introducing their own cheaper and easier to find blind box products for the holiday shopping season to try to capitalize on this craze that was sparked by these fuzzy, mini, and ugly monsters. So the hot gift lists from retailers like Walmart features a new batch of blind box figurines and trading cards. Companies like Hasbro and Mattel are selling versions of toys like Furby and Barbie in mystery packaging, trying to incorporate this trend. And the toy aisles in holiday shopping destinations like Target are crammed with goods wrapped in mystery packaging. Retailers, manufacturers, and analysts all expect that these are going to be big sellers this holiday season because they're low cost and they inspire addictive shopping, which is what retailers really want. They want that addictive shopping. They want to create a craveable experience. If I can paraphrase the founder of Raising Cane's. And these things appeal both to adults for some reason and kids. A Target spokesperson actually said the retailer doubled its assortment of blind box products for the holidays, adding items from brands including Baby 3, MGA's Entertainment Miniverse, Zuru's Mini Brands, and AFMAO, which I've never heard of. And they said it's just getting bigger and bigger this year. Um, Julie Lennett, who is a U.S. toy industry advisor, added that toy makers love it because when people buy it, they don't just buy one, they buy 10 or 30 at a time because there's this chase to it. You got to collect them all, she said. So, plus, toy prices have been going up month by month, in part because of tariffs, etc. And this gets those people in at a lower price. Now, the reason I brought this up is because we want to know where the puck is going so that we can skate there. There still is time, a lot of time actually, in Q4, especially for the late shoppers and for those who want to be able to merchant fulfill. And guess what? These blind boxes are all pretty small and will be, I mean, as cheap as can be to ship. Shipping is not cheap anymore, but these will be as cheap as can be to ship to customers and could be a good way to make a significant amount of sales this Q4.
Yeah, if you're able to source, something in high demand. I mean, this is an excellent opportunity. I love sourcing blind box inventory. You don't have to worry about variations. Um, like you said, they're typically small, easy to ship. You know, geometrically simple. Like these little tiny boxes. Um, but yeah, I mean that's good insight. It prompts multiple purchases because you don't know what color you're going to get. It's if there's X number, if there's 10 or 15 in a set, it's going to prompt people to order multiple quantities, hoping to complete a set. And a lot of the time, if you're not familiar, Chris mentioned Chase, which is something that these toys do. They'll have one in every 20 or one in every 50 be some special edition. um, I think I forget what company did it, but I remember I had a prep center reach out to me because I bought these Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle figures, and one of them was black and white. It was just grayscale, and he sent me a message. He goes, "Hey, I don't know if you want this returned or whatnot." I said, "No, no, no." I said, "Send it to me, directly," because I was going to move it on eBay or something like that because it's obviously more rare. So this is, I think, it's brilliant marketing um, from a sales perspective, and it's fairly simple uh, sourcing. It's funny you mentioned that because I was sourcing this weekend. I came across. Are you familiar with? I think it's called. Is it Sunny Angel?
Yep.
They
Yeah,
have those
I went to their
little.
store too, and at the Florida Mall.
Yeah, so they do some blind boxes, and some of the series are pretty profitable. So not only do they have blind boxes, but they have different series, which is also limited runs, which also creates um, more appeal, because they're only available for a limited time. And then they actually started um, doing collaborations too. And I saw something I haven't seen since I was a kid. Uh, does the term Monchichi ring a bell to you at all?
Monchichi.
Yeah, Monchichi. Sunny Angel has done a collaboration with Monchichi and a bunch of other ones, but it kind of made me laugh when I came across it. It was these little uh, monkey things that got popular when I was I think when I was a kid or when I was growing up at some point. Um, so it was a blast from the past to see a collaboration with them. But makes perfect sense now that you read that article. It's like, yeah, they're just cashing in on as many uh, blind box properties as they can while it's hot. So
Absolutely.
I like everything about this.
Yeah, I do too, except for the fact that it will I'm guessing this eventually goes the way of, um, what are they called? I forgot the name of them. Beanie Babies. How long is it before Pop Mart is no longer worth $4 billion or whatever it is? And, I don't know. Hopefully, they don't have the trouble that Funko is having right now, but we'll see. All right.
Yeah, Funko overproduced, but yeah, maybe we see divorce settlements where people sit on the floor and they divide out their Labubu collection as part of their divorce. That's a famous story from the fall of the Beanie Baby craze.
I remember that. So funny. Okay, let's answer some questions, and then I've got another very interesting article. At least it was interesting to me. So let's see here. Okay, so we got all right. I'm gonna mention this real quick. We've got Lounzinger, we've got Shannon, and we've got Renee. I hopefully I'm saying your name right, Renee. Thank you. We've got Renee. So we've got 3 out of the 10 down. So we've got 7 more spots. If you want to make a donation of $100 or more, you're going to get a lead list from me by Friday with $1,000 minimum profit on it. And that's limited to 10 people. Okay. So it's not going to go out to 50 or 100. You're going to get the brute force ungating guide and video. And you get access to tomorrow's live sourcing. It's going to be 5 or 6 hours of live sourcing with Chris and I. You guys will get access to that as well. So it's good for 10 people. We've got 3 so far, at least that have said something. So you've got to make the donation, $100 or more, and then shoot me a copy of your receipt over to chris@cleartheshelf.com, and I'll be getting everybody the link for tomorrow's live tomorrow morning, and lead list by the end of the week, etc.
Thank you so much, the 3 of you.
Yes. Yeah, thank you. All right. So, Lounsinger, question. I started seeing a weird message when I go to apply for an ungate. We cannot accept your application to X brand. Based on our review, we've identified that you have listed items that do not meet our authenticity requirements or do not contain accurate information. You heard about this. This seems like a new one. Do you have any open violations currently? Do you have any authenticity complaints, or have you had any in the past 6 months or anything like that you have beaten back? I'm curious. That would be the only thing I could see. This does sound new.
Yeah, and my mind, first place my mind went was maybe too many acknowledgments of violations in the past, because we know, as much as Amazon says they disappear, we do know that they keep a permanent record on us.
Always.
That's where I went.
Truth Right. Question. How's the A2A going? I remember you had some monthly spend goals in the summer. Have you continued? I have not continued as well as I should have. Now, are we still doing some A2A? Yes. However, I did just get a shiny, brand new $25,000 credit limit on an Amazon Prime American Express card. And you get 3 times points on Amazon purchases. So expect that to be making a comeback. Because, I mean, why not, right? With 25 grand burning a hole in my pocket.
Creeping on, you're about to weave into some girl math here, but I'm here for it.
All right. Also, I mean, got a $150 gift card for opening the credit line too. So, I mean, if I take that 150 and turn it into 300, like, is there ever a time when any of this costs real money?
Nope. It's all monopoly money.
So. That's what I thought. I'm just going to be playing with Amazon's gift card the whole way. Yeah, Luke, I'm curious if your kids know what Labubu is. That hopefully not. Hey, Polly, I'm on a break from a 7-hour road trip today, driving my oldest son and 3 of his friends back home from weekend visiting one of their friends who moved this summer. Oh, good to see you. I got a road trip coming up myself, so it's going to be 13 hours.
Good for you, Polly. We made an executive decision on a birthday party that was a half-hour away. We're like, yeah, we don't really like this kid that much. So to drive that far, good for you.
Right. All right. Next piece of news. And of course, if you guys have questions, drop them below. We want to make sure to get to your guys' questions as much as possible. I have seen some social media posts lately. There are a lot of people, I don't know, it's been this way for a year or so, maybe a little bit longer, but there are a lot of people who are, down and out, upset with Amazon, all this stuff, all the changes, et cetera, and so on. And I've had some people here even recently, questioning why are there Section 3 suspensions and all of this stuff kind of all over again. I thought that I'm being a little, perhaps I'm thinking that our reach is larger than it is, but we've addressed this multiple times on the show. We need to reach more people is what we need to do. But this article tells us the exact reason why this kind of stuff happens, right? There's a guy by the name of Les Robinson. He is 64 years old, and he was arrested recently in Eau Claire, Wisconsin, um, along with his 19-year-old granddaughter. Okay, who he started recruiting to help him steal as young as 14 years old. Now, this guy has had routine arrests throughout his entire adult life, and actually going all the way back to when he was 15. And remember, he is 64 now. Les Robinson has mugshots from each Twin Cities metro county and now one in Eau Claire County, Wisconsin. He has a total of 70 plus theft convictions. Okay. And they have, in other countries, they take your hands for this kind of thing. You know, but police arrested him last week coming out of an Ulta store where police believe he, his granddaughter, Roberta Howard, and her roommate, Kenneth Machin, are suspected of stealing about $27,000 worth of merchandise. All right. Across some Ulta stores in Wisconsin and Minnesota. But the makeup and beauty store is not the only one that Robinson and his crew are accused of hitting. According to the criminal complaint, several retail store loss prevention teams track shoplifting portfolios of known thieves. The retailers utilizing that software say that they've tracked Robinson taking $65,000. Now, Kenneth, he's either a noob or really bad at this. He's only been able to five-finger discount $4,000. However, Les is a proud grandparent because his granddaughter Roberta, has been tracked taking $99,000 worth of merchandise. A young prodigy, if you will, in the art of thievery. Court documents reveal that Robinson was first charged with burglary and theft in 1976 when he was 15 years old. Since then, he's had at least 70 theft convictions in Minnesota, and he's got another 19 pending charges against him. He has been punished, apparently not well enough, and he spent several stints in state prison in the 70s, the 80s, the 90s, the 2000s, and the 2010s. And good news, he didn't break the streak. He was most recently in prison in 2023, so he's hit all the decades since 1970s. Court records also show that in 2020, Robinson started using his then 14-year-old granddaughter, Roberta, to help him steal, getting caught and convicted of shoplifting tens of thousands worth of baby formula in Rochester, Austin, and Grand Rapids, Michigan. In one statement to police, Robinson actually admitted that he's got a problem stealing things. No kidding. He said he sought treatment for his theft issues, and he's even taking medication for stealing. Doctors are still trying to dial in that dose for him, though, apparently. If convicted in Wisconsin, he could face up to 3 years in prison, and no word on what is in store for him for those 19 other cases in Minnesota that he'll be called to court for. This is why we can't have nice things.
Yeah, exactly. And this isn't the only story like that out there, and this isn't even the first time we've shared a story like this. The state of open larceny, it's very bizarre right now. You have store employees getting fired if they try to stop thieves leaving the store, and there's no good solution to it. And yet there's more and more stories like this. There are networks, multi-state networks, that lady in California, and this is, if you think, the stores aren't desperately trying to come up with something that remains illegal. I mean, the connections to why things get difficult with us. I mean, let's draw the obvious connection. a lot of times the stolen goods end up on Amazon. You
Mhm.
know, I believe that lady in California, that was one of her outlets, correct?
Yeah,
Uh,
she had sold like $8 million on Amazon. Yeah,
yeah,
she was a big time seller.
yeah. So I mean, a lot of questions. Like if you've been tracking these people that much, and you can actually have cumulative totals. Like why is he only looking at 3 years? After every stint in jail, as you're walking him out the front door, you go, all right, I think we got it this time. You are rehabilitated. I'm willing to bet on it this time. And just over and over again. What was the uh Jim Carrey in you ever see the movie Liar Liar?
Mhm.
Where he can't tell a lie and he just yells into the phone. He says, "Stop breaking the law, asshole!" Like I imagine he has any legal counsel would be reenacting that scene. I'm sure.
You'd think. In truth, right, you're absolutely right. This is saddest for the granddaughter. She got roped in, and now she probably kind of likes it. Making some money, not having to work a regular job, probably making fairly good money. She's obviously good at it. $99,000 worth of merchandise. Yeah, it does. It sucks.
You think
um,
Grandpa pulls the inflation card? If she tries to like flaunt the fact that she's got a higher lifetime total than he does, he's like,
oh,
"Well,
most
in,
likely.
adjust for inflation. I still got you, little punk."
Right, I would imagine. And actually, here in a second, I'm actually going to talk to you about inflation. I learned something very interesting. But Lounzinger, do you have a few suggested Black Friday, Cyber Monday leads list that you respect the most? You know, the Black Friday, Cyber Monday lead lists have sort of gone out of style. Um, and instead, there's like Q4 groups for the entirety of Q4. I don't know of a single one that does just a Black Friday and Cyber Monday list anymore. And the problem, honestly, with it is Black Friday and Cyber Monday is no longer just a 1 day event. I used to sell Black Friday and Cyber Monday leads lists, and I'd go to blackfriday.com and I'd pull all the data and have it ready and have a few hundred leads for people. But you can't really do that anymore. Sure, you can go to blackfriday.com still and you can see what some of the sales are going to be, maybe what some of the discounts are going to be on some things, but you're going to miss so much because they're unannounced deals and doorbusters and all kinds of stuff over Black Friday. I mean, Black Friday on Amazon starts on the 20th. Starts in 4 days. It's going to be an entire week. And Walmart's already having their deal days. Uh, so yeah, I don't know of any. I'm sorry, man. Yeah, you're right. Some people do boring things like go to the park with their grandpa. This is I get, they were just trying to bond over some stuff he enjoys doing. Yeah, I didn't know there were anti-theft pills either.
Yeah.
Uh, I, I'd like to know what those are. How long has he been on a GLP-1? That's supposed to tamp down some cravings outside of just food. All right, we're live on Instagram again. It's been a while, but David does Amazon. What's going on, man? It's been a while since I've seen you. Um, Question over here is advice on creating multiple retail accounts, Kohl's, Macy's. Can I use aliases like name+1@gmail.com, or do I need fully new emails? Typically at Kohl's and Macy's are both fairly reseller friendly. But also, I don't think that either one of their security systems are very high. You should be able to just do the name plus one. I would suggest using a dot rather than a plus. There have been a few places I've run into some trouble with the plus on the end of email accounts, and it has hurt quite a bit. Now, what about phone verification? Well, the only thing you can do there is get some more phone numbers. There's some apps out there. I don't recall the name of them off the top of my head, but there's lots of apps where you can get fairly inexpensive phone numbers. You can get yourself at least one Google phone number for free, and stuff like that. So those would be the places I would go. And then David also says, Chris Grant, your face looks better. Thank you. I've lost a little bit of weight. So I appreciate that. Let's see here. Yeah, Stacy, Walmart has absolutely been dropping stuff like crazy. It has been good stuff. Potato. A lady I know makes 80 to 90K a year at a doctor's office. She got banned from Walmart for stealing 3K in total over a period of time. Yeah, stealing can definitely become a habit. I don't know if it's the stealing that is the habit. I think it's probably the dopamine hit. They kind of crave that. I don't know. I still don't excuse it. There's certain bad things that I really like, and I'm able to say no to them. All right. Any other questions, thoughts, concerns that we can help you guys with? Drop them in the chat. We'll be happy to answer your guys' questions about selling on Amazon, give you poor parenting advice, whatever you guys need. But I'm also going to remind you guys, we've got a few people who have donated already. If you donate $100, either to the link, it's either down below or up here. It's also in the show notes. You donate $100 or more to Movember. I'm going to give you three things. All right, I'm going to give you a lead list with $1,000 of profit on it or more, and that'll come out to you by Friday. I'm going to give you my brute force ungating guide and video to go along with it, so you can get ungated in 4,000 plus brands, auto ungated, and learn how to find your own brands to get auto ungated in. The process is simple, not easy. Takes a lot of work, but it is doable. And then the third thing is I'll give you access to our sourcing mega stream tomorrow, which starts at 5 p.m. Eastern. It's going to go until at least 10 o'clock Eastern. May go a little bit beyond that, but we're going to be sourcing for 5 hours straight, answering questions, looking at Keepa charts, looking at products, showing you exactly, what we're sourcing, all that stuff, for 5 straight hours. So you get access to all three of those things. And all you've got to do is donate $100 to the Movember Foundation using Chris's link here for his fundraiser.
Appreciate it. Like I said, is 7, as far as I can tell, still 7 slots available. We got 3 of them taken already.
I guess I did forget that. We're doing that for 10 people only. All right. So we're going to limit that to 10 people.
Yeah.
All right. Question. Do you each do a Q4 group or both in the same one? And is there a way to do a late sign up? Started like 2 months late this year. Chris does not do a Q4 group, but I do. Unfortunately, we are at capacity. As much as I would love to let you in, I'm not able to because I would be breaking my word. So I can't do that, unfortunately. I'm sorry.
And sometimes the best alternative to a Q4 group, because Q4 groups, they're not cheap. They take a lot of effort, a lot of constant effort over the course of the entire 3 months. So the quick and the fast and dirty way to do it is join some extra lead lists. Even just on a temporary basis.
You have any spots open, Chris?
I do actually. I think 2 spots opened up on the alpha list. But I've always thought, that was it's a nice alternative if you're forced into it. There's something to be said about a quarterly group, and just the relentlessness of all the leads that you get in that group. But if you have to settle for adding a few lead lists, you do get a little bit more exclusivity typically. I know my alpha list has 20 sellers max. There are 2 spots open, which means there's only 18 people right now. And you throw in the fact, same thing with Q4 groups. Not everyone is sourcing every single lead. I think most people would be surprised if there was a way to verify the percentage of the leads, that are actually sourced in both Q4 groups and lead lists alike. So,
Oh yeah. David, advice on waiting for sales for Black Friday to drop or keep buying inventory now? I would keep buying inventory now. When a deal comes up, I think you should strike. Um, are there going to be more deals as we get closer to Black Friday? Sure. But like Walmart's already doing, deal days and stuff like that. Are they going to lower the price even further? No, probably not. I highly doubt it. So I wouldn't quit buying. I wouldn't hold back. Ellen, what kind of Amazon account do I need for A2A? All I know is it can't be Prime. I would grab yourself 2 accounts. Get yourself a business account at business.amazon.com. Make sure you do not sign up for the Business Prime membership. And then go get yourself a personal non-Prime account. Make it with a new email. That's all it needs to be. Make sure all the other information matches you. Make it with a new email. If you want to use the plus, you can do that as well. Let's say your email is ellen.doe at gmail.com for your Amazon seller account. Do ellen.doe.a2a at gmail.com for another Prime or another non-Prime personal buyer account. So you're going to want both of those. I like to buy on the business account as much as possible, but sometimes buying on a personal account is better because maybe you can buy more. Sometimes on the business account, you might have a little bit of a steeper discount, or there are discounts for buying more quantity. However, business accounts also seem more prone to getting taken away from you, suspended for like returns, things like that. So you want to have both and just make sure they're not Prime. And that's all you need to do. Lounger, where do I go for the alpha list? It is oaleads247.com. oaleads247.com. David. So David is asking over on Instagram, thoughts on Corey exiting the Amazon space. David, we actually talked about this. This was asked maybe a week or so ago. I'm rooting for him. And we talked about, his numbers and stuff like that. Yeah, a lot of people were overlooking the fact that he paid himself a 6-figure salary. They were overlooking his cash back, all of that stuff. He did okay for himself. I don't think making $800,000 or $900,000 over the course of 8 years is a bad thing. It is today in the short form content world, because everyone who is 21 has a Lambo and makes $1 million a year. And so when people have what is a solid business that was on solid footing, people are kind of like, oh, that's what a real business looks like. They're not, he wasn't, did he also sell courses? And yeah, because I helped him with one of his courses, but, and he also had his private group and stuff like that. He made money off of that. No, I don't think he did anything bad to the Amazon community. And so like nothing but good things in his future, I hope. And I'm going to follow along because I'm fascinated by what he's getting into, helping businesses implement AI into, I would imagine going to be a lot of brick and mortar businesses that he helps implement AI, which is, I think, is not a bad idea. AI is something that a lot of us who are digital first or online first, we sort of take it for granted. You know, there's a lot of folks here who probably don't go to Google any longer, and they go to Grok or ChatGPT or Perplexity or, you know, Anthropic or whatever you use. And it's just kind of second nature to us, you know. But the people who are renting out porta johns and can't call their leads because they're driving a truck, um, they don't know anything about ChatGPT or how they could implement some sort of automation into their business to get back to leads faster and close potential clients without ever having to talk to them. I think he's going to do really, really well there.
Yeah, and there's there's something to be said about, I mean, there are still businesses out there charging money for setting up your Google My Business, so that you show up in local Google results. Um, so it's kind of a bit of the kind of curse of knowledge. We can't remember what it was like before we knew what we know now. So there's definitely opportunity, and I think too many people. There were a lot of bad takes on Corey's exit out of the space. However, I think one of the ones that I was the most bothered by was people assuming that he was getting out because of something negative in the Amazon space. And I don't necessarily, I think that's an assumption that we don't know for sure, because he's a smart guy. He's got a sales background. He's well-spoken, quick on his feet, all that stuff. So it may be it may be a fact of he thinks this opportunity is bigger than what he had going on Amazon. And I fully agree that I think he has nothing to be ashamed about. And I appreciate how transparent he was.
Yeah.
The opportunity of all these fake, hustle bros and stuff, kind of dunking on his numbers. They can only do that because Corey was transparent.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I don't think I said it before. It was a little less than 7 years that the numbers that we came out. I think if anybody with a full-time gig, if they're thinking about Amazon, if they saw the fact that they could make over $900,000 in less than 7 years, they're marching right into HR and putting in their 2 weeks. So
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. We really are. We are a little jaded, because all we've got to do is scroll. I mean, heck, whether you're on Money Twitter, whether you're on, I don't know what it's called on Instagram. I don't spend enough time over there. Money Instagram or, whatever it is. Like everyone's making $1 million, selling how to get 0% APR on other people's money to grow your business frameworks. And yeah, he was running a legit business, with margins. 5% margins is better than what Target runs, at the end of the day. And that was with a 6-figure salary. And do I think Corey is correct about him moving to a better opportunity? For him, yes. For everybody, no. Why? Because one, he's been learning about AI for quite some time. But two, he's got a sales background. Not everyone has. Corey, love him, hate him, whatever. Corey has incredibly thick skin. Like nose just bounce off him like nobody I've ever seen. That will serve him well, and that is what it takes to run a service business like this. Whether or an agency business, whatever you want to call it. Can you get inbound leads? Yeah, absolutely. But is it also going to take some sales calls and stuff like that? Yeah, also going to take some sales calls. Are the margins going to be better? Yeah, because it's a service business. There are no cost of goods sold. There's just your time and or the time of any maybe employees that you may have. Um, so I think it is a good opportunity for him. Do I still think that Amazon is a fantastic opportunity for a lot of people? especially people who don't want to do sales, who don't necessarily want to get peoply, and stuff like that. Yeah, absolutely. You can grow Amazon businesses very, very large, or you can grow them to whatever size is right for you and your lifestyle. All right. Um, have you guys heard any updates on the draconian gating stuff Amazon did this year and how much it hurts small sellers? I remember some kind of acknowledgement of a review. Um, I heard some talk from some SaaS owners, saying they were having conversations, and not once have I heard a follow up to that. So I'm guessing it was either dropped or I don't know. Uh, I'm not sure. Like, did that hurt a bunch of people? And did it feel draconian? Yeah, absolutely. Is there a reason Amazon did it? Also, yes. Um, is it possible to actually get ungated in brands like Nike and Adidas to this day? Also, yes. We know people who have gotten ungated in Nike within the past month. You can't sell as much. You're not going to be able to sell all the socks and stuff like that. You're going to be sort of on the fringes and things. But yeah, it was absolutely it was a serious wake up call to a lot of people.
Does seem to be easing though.
I think so.
Yeah, I think it was the worst of it was probably earlier in Q4, and I think we're going to continue to see it ease up a little bit. I've been pleasantly surprised with some of the quantities that they're asking for on the brands that don't auto ungate.
Yeah, absolutely. Sleekiest, I donated 100 but didn't receive an email. Is it going to take time to get it? I got my receipt pretty quickly. I trust you. Like, take a screenshot of something and shoot it over to me. I'm not gonna go and do like forensic accounting to make sure you deserve to get your leads and all that stuff. And Sleekiest, thank you. And listen, I'm just gonna say it again because this is how you sell things. You have to say it over and over again because we're marketing to a marching crowd or marching audience, not a standing crowd. But if you donate $100 to Movember, which is an organization that raises money to help with men's mental health and men's health, things like prostate cancer, testicular cancer, and so on. Donate $100. I'm going to give you three things. Number one, I'm going to give you access to tomorrow's live sourcing session. That is at least 5 hours of Chris and I live sourcing, answering questions, explaining Keepa graphs, everything, showing you all the methods. Okay. For 5 straight hours. We've done this once before. We had too many guests, wasn't enough sourcing. This time it is just straight sourcing. Number two, I'm going to give you access to 4,000 brands that you can get auto ungated in. And I'm going to give you a video on how to find more brands that you can get auto ungated in. I call it the brute force auto ungate method. And then third, I'm going to give you $1,000 worth of leads. Now that is $1,000 of potential profit. Okay. Not like I would sell this for $1,000. It'll be $1,000 of potential profit. That could come in 10 leads. It could come in 20. It might be 30 leads. Who knows? Okay. But it'll be at least $1,000. I will also probably try to over deliver because that's what I tend to do on these kinds of things. But you get those three things for donating $100. And that is limited to 10 people. We have at least 4 that have donated. That means there are 6 spots left, as far as I'm aware. And you can donate $100. Send me an email to chris@cleartheshelf.com. None of this money goes in my pocket. It all gets donated to a good cause. It is tax deductible. They are a 501c3. And you'll be able to take that off on your taxes and get something valuable in return that should easily make you more than your $100 back. All right. There is a QR code at the top of this video. There is a link down at the bottom or at the top, depending on where you're watching. And there is a link in the show notes on YouTube, Facebook, etc. All right. Okay. There is some questions over on Instagram. I'm going to get these ones answered here. David, heard from an Amazon seller that submitting invoices upside down helps with not getting auto denied when applying for brands. It is anecdotal, but I do think it helps on occasion. There are rumors that AI handles like the first 3 submissions for just about anything anymore. And so maybe turning it upside down confused. I mean, AI should be able to figure out, read something both upside down and right side up. So I don't know whether or not that's the thing that's making it happen, or if it's just the fact that, oh, well, now I'm on my 3rd submission. I'm going to flip it upside down. And now I'm getting a human because the AI has already declined it 3 times. I don't know. But is it worth a shot? Sure. Absolutely. I always like to hold some things back for each submission. You know, I want to use the minimum effective dose. So let's say it's an inauthentic complaint, or I'm getting ungated. Well, I'm going to give just the receipt the first time, and it's going to be called ASIN invoice. And then round number 2 is going to be a receipt plus some credit card statements. And that one's called ASIN invoice final. And then round number 3 is, you know, the invoice, the credit card receipts, and maybe an image of the item in my hand. And that's called ASIN invoice last and final, you know, or whatever naming schema you want to use. And then number 4, maybe I'm flipping it upside down, and maybe I'm adding a cover page to let them know, here's all the things that you're going to be looking at. And then maybe number 5, I'm actually highlighting some of the items inside of there. You know, so I'm always trying to hold a little bit back and use the minimum effective dose.
Yeah, and it's all the same. They're sibling reason. I mean, ultimately, what you want to do is you're trying to create a submission that is materially different that an AI or any automated system is going to think and not be able to match up and go, okay, this is clearly a duplicate entry, and you get auto kicked out. You know, I mean, that's the point of it. You want to make it just different enough to trick any automation into thinking that there's definitely new material, you know, and then you're just trying to get through to the person that's going to have some common sense and look at your documents.
Yeah. Hey, Miles, thanks for stopping in, man. I appreciate you.
So, Miles.
Okay. Amar, we'll get your question here in just a second. We've got a long question over on Instagram. Claudia, I bought a business that was selling on Amazon doing private label a couple of years ago. A couple of years later, I started to do OA and realized my account was created in another country in Asia. And for almost all brands I want to apply to sell, I get a message that your account does not apply due to being outside of market. I feel like I am stuck. I don't know what to do, and I understand what I did was not allowed by Amazon. I can't grow no matter how much I sell because of this. I did create a case once, and they told me my account was based in another country, and they changed it, but something has not changed. I would love to give you a solution, but you already kind of answered this. You know, you bought a business outside of the country, and as much as you might change things in there, there's always going to be kind of that breadcrumb. And there are certain countries where Amazon just doesn't allow ungatings on certain things. I'm pretty sure all of Turkey can't sell Nike because there were a lot of Turkish sellers selling counterfeit Nike products. Unfortunately, you're stuck. Now, could you create a second account? You can. It is not against Amazon terms of service to have more than one selling account. But my question is, did you buy that business doing private label because you wanted to own a private label business and someone was selling? or did you buy that business because you got another account suspended or banned, and if that was the case and you went to kind of one of these black market sites to buy, these accounts, you're out of luck, unfortunately. I don't know of anything white hat that I can tell you to do. I'm sorry.
And I just noticed that it puts the second part of Miles' comment in better perspective. Got Uncle Flips for Miles, $1,000 donation. So thank you very, very much, Miles. Very much appreciated.
Amar, is there a system or tool that checks multiple gift cards at once, like something that can verify or track several gift card balances together? Not that I'm aware of, and I have been looking. There are some apps out on the App Store that say that they will do that, and they don't work. So it just doesn't exist yet. I know that Arbitrage Card is, I think they have some tracking available. I haven't really messed with it very much. I also know that they're working on making their tracking better, and they'll release that when they can. But outside of them, nobody does it. That's the hard thing about discount gift cards. They're great for margins. They can suck to keep track of, especially when you've got, a bunch of cards with like $3 left on them and stuff like that.
Yeah, I will say Arbitrage Card's dashboard, for the cards that you buy through Arbitrage Card, that dashboard does a good job. You can actually check balances and whatnot on the cards. And then, of course, I've talked about it before, but it's worth mentioning again that their Chrome extension, the Chrome extension will actually open up a sidebar where you can actually cradle to the grave as far as the gift card process goes. You buy it, apply it, and copy it without leaving the checkout page. You can actually look at what cards you have, search for new cards, all in the dashboard and that sidebar too.
Yeah, awesome. All right, well, guys, it's been fun for a Sunday. I'll give you one last call to arms here. If you have a question, get it in the chat now. We'll take some time to answer it. But also, if you do make that $100 donation, as much as I appreciate Miles, he doesn't need the leads, so I'm not going to send him any. But if you make $100 donation to Movember, I will send you $1,000 of profit via a leads list. That'll come to you by Friday. I'll give you access to our 5+ hour live stream tomorrow. That happens tomorrow. And if you are an OAC Plus member, yes, that live stream is already in our Discord under the events section. Matter of fact, through the end of the year, we have 26 times that we will be together between now and January 1st. I went ahead and put in all of our lives for the rest of the year in there. I think the only days that we're taking off is actually Thanksgiving Day and Christmas Day. We're going to be around for Thanksgiving Eve. We're going to be around for Christmas Eve. At least I will. Like if Chris, you can't make it for Christmas Eve, I get it. But we'll be around for all of those. But you make that donation, you get our 5-hour sourcing session tomorrow. You get the brute force ungating guide with 4,000 plus brands on it, plus the video on how to find your own, and all of that stuff. But yeah, if you are an OAC Plus member, live sourcing session happens tomorrow. Make sure to check the events section inside of Discord. And I'll make an announcement about it tomorrow too, about an hour before I go live. All right. Well, guys,
hard to imagine a more profitable way to make a donation to a good cause.
That was exactly my thought process while I was out getting my steps in this morning. Cool 10,000 steps before 9 a.m. this morning. So have a lot of time to do some thinking.
Before 9 a.m. Really?
I told you I gotta lock back in. You know, I've hit this plateau on weight loss, and I gotta lock back in. So I'm going back to the basics. I was like, I'm just gonna step up my steps, and I'm gonna get them done in the morning before anybody gets up, and dialing back the diet, just back to chicken and broccoli, like in the very 8 months ago when I started this whole thing. So I can get over this stupid plateau and finally hit that goal.
Nice. What? How do you get the 10,000 in? How long does it take? What are you doing? Is it just walking?
Just walking. I don't run unless I'm in danger. And even then I'll try to trip somebody else first. So I just walk in my neighborhood. And which, you know what, I'll tell you what, I love where I live. Like, a lot of people are gonna be like, this is crazy. Like, you're a crazy Florida man. But yeah, I am weightlifting 2 to 3 times a week. I go to the gym. But I can walk to the lake in my neighborhood and there's alligators. And I know that, you shouldn't be around dinosaurs. They're just swamp puppies. They don't want to hurt you unless you get too close or mess with their teeth. But, so there's alligators. We got a black bear in the neighborhood who comes around every now and again. And nice guy, just tips over a trash can here and there. No big deal. We've got some coyotes. There's some horses down the street. There's some goats across the street. But this morning, I saw that we've got an American bald eagle in the neighborhood. And I was like, dude, that's awesome. So yeah, keep an eye out for him.
So you're borderline bird watching now too.
It's bad, it's bad. And then every now and again I see a butterfly and I almost run out into traffic. Like, it's not great. I need an adult. All right, guys, we're gonna wrap it up there because we're going off somewhere that's gonna get dangerous. We'll be back this Wednesday to do this all over again with you guys. And remember, make a donation, shoot me an email, chris@cleartheshelf.com. I will make it worth your while. I promise. All right. That's it for us, everybody. Have a great night and kick some ass this week.